Hey friends and family, thanks for tuning in to tonight's Thursday Night Thought. Tonight's thought is a very peaceful thought. So if you find yourself in a situation where life's maybe a little out of control right now, or you feel like you can't move forward, or you feel like in a situation that you're stuck in, or you're maybe trying to make sense of some things and you're not getting a lot of answers, this message is for you. And the message is this: you may not see a way out of an external situation, and it's okay, because the external is not your job. The internal is. Therefore, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things. And when the time is right, nudges will be given, and a way forward shall be revealed in the external. Trust that God does great things beyond your understanding. This message brought in a couple elements that I want to add to it. Number one, this idea that the external isn't our job doesn't always make sense, because it seems like we live in an external world and everything is happening outside of us. But if you really look at it, there's not a lot in the external that we have control over. We don't have control over the weather. We don't have control over creation, over others. We have very limited control. So that job, what that was stating, is that's not our job. But we do have a job and a responsibility to what happens internally and where we can place our focus and our awareness. And that is what this message is bringing in this week. So what does that mean? And it goes on to state to think about things that are excellent or praiseworthy. And many times this can sound like a positive mantra type thing. Just think happy thoughts and you'll be happy. But that's not what this message was conveying. It was very clear to me that this was about stepping into our world and maybe asking ourselves for the first time, what is excellent? What is praiseworthy? And then allowing ourselves to have awareness of that, compare that to what is not, so that we have full awareness. That's really what this message is bringing in. And one of the best ways to do that is to look at others. And if you find something praiseworthy, praise them. I did that a lot with my kids this week. If you find something excellent, what does excellence mean to you, and where is that showing up in your life? That's what we're to focus on internally, and that's our job. And then this other thing came in this week. I don't know if you've heard the quote, life is understood backward. Life is lived forward. I had chills when I heard this message. For some reason, it's the first time I've heard this message. But it really applied to this next part of the message, which said, trust that God does great things beyond your understanding. So if you're in a situation right now where things just aren't making sense and you're trying to make sense of your world and trying to find some understanding, perhaps you too need this get out of jail free card, which is stop trying to understand it. God can do great things beyond your understanding of your life. So a great metaphor that happened this week. Many of you know we moved into a new house and we really just got home. We've been on vacation, we got home, and we have boxes galore. I'm talking hundreds and hundreds of boxes. And it's beautiful because they're all in these rooms, but we had the exterminator out, and one of the things Texas is known for is bugs, and so we had the exterminator out, and he said, well, those boxes are notorious for spiders and bugs. Like, they're attracted to these boxes, right? So it kind of freaked my husband and I out. And next thing you know, I wake up in the morning and my husband has spent the night going through every room in the house and dumping all of the boxes in the house. Okay, so if you thought it was bad enough to have boxes stacked in your room, then you come in and everything that was in the boxes is now out in the open. And while I was super appreciative of the fact that we no longer have any cardboard boxes in our house, I'm also sitting there looking at all of the stuff that's been accumulated. And maybe that can be a metaphor for you looking into your own life. And it can be overwhelming sometimes to look at how we've accumulated our life and what does it mean. And we're trying to gain understanding and we're looking at this pile trying to make sense of it, when really our job internally is just to focus on what is excellent and what is praiseworthy this week. And when I did that, What's interesting is, because I did start in on those piles, at first I think I wanted to cry and I didn't want to do the work. But I thought about this message and I thought about this application, and I used this as an opportunity to play praise music, to focus on what was wonderful, to look at the things that were in front of me and say, hey, this has got to go. This is clutter. I don't need this. But this is excellent, and I want to keep this, and this has amazing memories. And just really, really bringing that awareness to what that is. Not making sense of it, but just the awareness of it. I hope that makes sense to you and brings you some peace this week. Because if we can do that, the promise is when the time is right, meaning not in our timing, but in God's timing, nudges will be given and a way forward shall be revealed. I take great hope in that message, and I hope that you can too. So have a beautiful week, and I look forward to sharing our next Thursday night thought together.